Okay, I'm a huge Disney fan, and being a Disney fan, you're bound to be just crazy weird, okay? So, here are crazy weird and possibly relatable things I've thought of through the years of Disney that you guys might find relatable too. Here we go. The Little Mermaid. Her hair. My goodness. Like, that sea salt does miracles, and then she gets out and she's like, oh, like that hair, and she's swimming. It doesn't get in her way. Like, girls and boys with long hair. Like, you're like, Disney, why do you torture us with hair goals that are unphysically accurately possible? And then I often wondered, when she stumbled so much, is it really because she didn't know how to walk because she was new to legs, or was it because she was literally also battling the fact of gravity? Like, think about it. You're in the water for so long. Her bone structures must be very weak. Like, it's like astronauts being in space for so long. They would literally be weak in the bones. And with people being so angry at first with the remake and having an African being the Little Mermaid, I wonder if that's what they felt when they found out the Little Mermaid had red hair and not blonde. I know that's not on the same level, and there shouldn't even be a level. Point is that it's just kind of funny because Disney broke tradition by giving Ariel red hair, because normally in that time people were like, oh, she's gonna blonde hair. Also, I'd like to share that I actually ran into a Brit online, and he apparently believed the stereotype that all Brits are smarter than everyone else, or at least Americans. And he was like, oh, well, she was from Holland, and, so she was clearly white. And I was just like, the writer was Danish, sure, but literally, if you actually read Little Mermaid, which came into a blue book, that was a series of books of different color, and they were labeled by the color of different series of stories published with that book. And nowhere in that book is it Station Double Country or really anything like that. Just a fairy tale, and a fairy tale is universal, so who gives a crap? It could be anywhere there's an ocean. Ooh, saying that, anywhere there's an ocean, it could be anywhere there's not an ocean too, like maybe an ocean on another planet. I know that's crazy weird on there, but I'm just saying, I'm now just making fun of it. Like, the Little Mermaid's from Mars, folks. She came to our home planet because hers is gone. Who knows? I don't know. What I don't understand about the disliking remakes, okay, I admit there are bad ones, but what I don't understand is why people are angry when they say, it's not the original, and I'm just like, the original? You mean the adaptation Disney made to make it family friendly? It's literally in the prologue of Walt Disney himself. Like that's why he made it. For families. And it's not like he wrote them hand in hand, like, really. So, I mean, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this one, but it's just like, if you're going to be angry, be prepared to state it correctly or know your facts first. I'm sorry, but this is the real world, and you're going to need to learn to use them anyway eventually when you get into the working biz anyway, so I'm doing you a favor, folks. Okay, I'm going to take this time to rant a little about the Little Miss Deception Disgrace of Lion King remake. Anyway, what I don't understand is when I was dragged, kicking heels and screaming, seriously, I had to take my niece and I had no choice. I had to watch The Lion King, and when I saw it, I was so worried about the hyenas because it's like Disney just made the Lion Guard to set the record straight, to show that these are noble creatures, and then they just ruined. I was seriously waiting for or hoping Chenzi would look at the Pride Lands and be like, oh my gosh, we are just ruining this. But also, she's a leader. They weren't in the best of space and situation to begin with, so of course she wasn't gonna stand up. She needed to feed her folks. Like, she's a leader. She needs to look out for her own kind. So for her to have that moment, it would have been like, oh, that's right. I mean, doing the wrong thing for the right reasons. It's a completely understandable basis. But no, they just had to ignore that, didn't they? Moving on, Robin Hood. Oh my gosh, anyone else just have a major crush on Robin Hood, Robin Hood, man. And then also back to Lion King Simba, the animated, the 90s animation one. my gosh, his hair. Even as a cub, you can't help but have a crush on him. Like, his facial expressions, man. How is Esmeralda not a Disney princess? I mean, she was a Disney princess to begin with, and then they just took it away from her in 2004. No, once a Disney princess, always a Disney princess. Forget Mulan. Esmeralda is the perfect example for today's society. Legit. Like, Disney, really? Are you secretly racist? Because really, how do you just take her off? Also, why did they take off Moana? Sure, maybe she didn't make the budget, but really, is that really the most important thing? I freaking love Tangled the series. Like, we're still wiping our tears from that. It was a show that didn't have to be good, and it was. Anyway, one thing I just love about it is that it's a perfect prime example of feminism. Like, it doesn't matter about just girl power. It's all about equal rights and just accepting the men for who they are, as well as they should accept us for who we are. Like, it's an even deal. That's true feminism. But with today's society, it's like, no, just girl power. And I'm just like, well, then we're just about to be as bad as the men were then. Why did Mulan have to cut her hair? I mean, that's just a Western thing, really. So, like, she didn't have to cut her hair. Is it just me? I mean, this isn't a complaint or anything, but I just wondered, has anyone ever noticed in Cinderella with the mice and Lucifer, it's kind of like Tom and Jerry. I know it's probably just a running gag, but why is Anna still getting beef for trying to marry guys like she just met? I mean, if you think about it, she is such a strong person. Even after being like arguably abandoned by her whole family for different reasons or understandings, until finally someone notices her and turns out to be a serial killer. Like, coldly abandoned in a room by herself, left to die. Like, she is waiting to eventually die or freeze to death. I mean, and she still gets up to do what she can. Like, no one can just do that unless they have that inner strength in them. That is truth right there. That's just crazy amazing. And coming from experience, like, I've been suicidal like twice, and so I can relate to like being in a moment of hopelessness, but fortunately I'm stubborn. So I was like, I ain't going anywhere. I'm not making anyone happy. I'm staying if you don't want me around anyway then. So for her to just pick up and go, like, that's truly amazing. Rapunzel is locked in a tower for 18 years with only Mother Gothel as a connection to anything outside besides Pascal. Lying and just avoiding the truth just to keep a pet around, if anything else, just to get what she, the attention or to get what she needs to keep surviving. And then all of a sudden coming out and reaching all this stuff, it's like 60 years of therapy, anybody? Also, anyone notice, I just love the psychological differences here, because the minute she leaves, she is frightened of the rustling of a bush, and it's just a bunny, thank goodness. Then, facing thugs like criminal masterminds, head up front. Like, who will do that even with human contact? No one does that. And then the next day, take on an animal, Maximus. Like a beast, like this animal, 10 times 20 her weight, and just goes full on try just to stop it and calm it down. That doesn't just happen. That's just crazy amazing there. I'm like, whoa. And then for finally Mother Gothel to come back around and try to get her, like, she just starts to notice that the differences between someone looking at her and looking at her hair. The Emperor's New Groove is just a great movie, period. It's so underrated. It's so underrated, people. Also, I don't know why, but I can just see Loki, the guy who played Loki, just being a teaser trailer, and just him being Cusco, and then Thor popping in and pretending to be Kronk or something, because I don't know. It was just funny, just making fun of that factor and the similarities, I think, or something. Why is the only legit soprano in all of Disney princesses is the one with the less runtime? Aurora's the only legit soprano. I mean, arguably Snow White is too, but a first soprano. A real legit first. So, I kind of wish we had a little more soprano girls here, because It would just be nice to be included, because then it's just weird hearing these complaints saying, "Oh, the Disney princesses are sopranos." I'm like, where? I only see 2, if not 1, and they're the oldest. The only non-white Disney princesses I see are like arguably not the best. I mean, Mulan's okay, I guess, but I mean she is, and Jasmine's great too. But really, my beef is like with the Native Americans. Disney, really? The best you could do with Pocahontas, if you had to just do Pocahontas as a Disney princess, you had to do that? Like, that was the best you could do? And then wait for a stupid, low-budget, bad ride and sequel to even give her the right, legit, historical figure of a man that she married? And what about Kita? Come on. She was actually rooted to be the next Disney princess when Atlantis actually came apart, but then they're like, nope, never mind. Really? I mean, besides Esmeralda, she's the second most worthy one, because she's a nationality that can be of all nations in a place where they speak every other language known to man and unknown to man. They could speak languages we don't even know exist yet. You can like pretend. Like, that would be a great representation for everyone. But no! Okay, maybe I should just title this video Complaints Over the Years of Disney. So when are we gonna get an Egyptian princess? Like, please, give us Nefertiti. Give us an historical figure like Nefertiti. Don't go for Cleopatra. I freaking love Oliver and Company. It's just, I don't know why, but it's just, knowing the story of Oliver Twist, you're just like, wow, the parallels are uncanny. Brother Bear, I'm on my way. Oh, such a good movie. What I don't understand is when Frozen 2 came out, parents were apparently angry of the dark aspects of it. And I'm just like, have they not watched what we watched today, and let alone have they forgotten their own childhood? I mean, we watched Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like, like, Frozen 2 is a breeze in the park, really.